Welcome to the Guild Tremor Video Strategy Guides. I am Danton, one of our main tanks, and today I'll be explaining the Festergut encounter within Icecrown Citadel. Festergut is one of Professor Putricide's creations and must be dealt with to proceed to Putricide himself. Festergut has 9.4 million hit points, a flat 5-minute enrage timer, and only one phase. Keep in mind that when I say a 5-minute enrage timer, I meant 5 minutes, exactly 300 seconds. When he hits this mark, he'll both enrage and do a massive AoE to everyone in the raid. Due in large part to his enrage timer, this encounter can easily be classified as a DPS check for your raid. It can be done with 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 6 DPS. The raid should split up into 2 groups for the encounter, ranged and melee. Tanks should be included within the melee group and have to deal with the unique ability Festergut does. Every 12 seconds he will cast Gastric Bloat on his current target, which causes around 10,000 nature damage to the tank, and applies a stacking debuff which increases damage dealt by 10% per stack. This debuff lasts a total of 1 minute and 40 seconds. If 10 stacks of this debuff are reached though, the tank will explode via Gastric Explosion and deal 30,000 nature damage to nearby allies. Since only 2 tanks are required, the off-tank will taunt at 9 stacks of this debuff on the main tank, and wait for it to fall off on the main tank before taunting back, which should be right as about 9 stacks hit on the off-tank. Due to one of Festergut's abilities, Vile Gas, there is required to be at the very minimum of 3 raid members at range from him. This ability causes any players within a small area to vomit uncontrollably for 6 seconds and take around 4,000 nature damage every 2 seconds. The ranged group will need to stay spread out until Festergut casts gas spores on 2 random raid members. The gas spores are ridiculously easy to spot, so there should be no excuses as to which person had it or not. At this point, one of the 2 people who has the spore should run to the ranged group with the other person running to the melee group. The melee spore person should stand in between Festergut's legs so as to be near both the melee and the tanks. The ranged spore person should act as the center of the ranged group so that they can collapse together. The spores will explode after 12 seconds, inflicting around 2,000 shadow damage to nearby targets for every second for several seconds. After this finishes its damage, a stacking debuff will be applied, called Inoculation. This reduces the target's shadow damage taken by 25% per stack, up to 3 stacks, and is absolutely necessary for surviving another of Festergut's abilities, Pungent Blight. Throughout the encounter, a gas cloud will form in the room and cause massive raid damage to be continuously applied every few seconds, so the healers will need to be on the ball. After a short amount of time, Festergut will inhale some of this gas, increasing his personal damage and attack speed by 30% per inhale. This will also decrease the overall raid damage going out. After gaining 3 stacks of this Inhale Blight, Festergut will release them as Pungent Blight, which deals around 50,000 shadow damage to the raid. This will reset his stacks of Inhale Blight and, once again, put the gaseous cloud back onto the raid. Remember that inoculation debuff I mentioned? Hopefully by now every raid member has been hit by the spores, which gives this debuff, at least 3 times each, for the sole reason of having 75% damage reduction against shadow spells, which is the type of damage taken from Pungent Blight. Rinse and repeat a second time, be mindful of the 5-minute rage timer, and you'll be set. As always, thanks for watching our videos. If you have any questions, I encourage you to post them in the YouTube comment section below, or feel free to visit our website forums at www.feelthetremor.com.